And we're off. So welcome everyone who's watching this link. We are the Music Project Activism UK, and we're doing TROM section 2.28 because it's loud. So this is all about questions and the collapse. So we watched that section of TROM. It's an hour long. Kind of sums up the whole of section 2 about kind of where the monetary system and where all these things we've been learning about over the last couple of months are leading, and possibility of a collapse of the system. I don't know. I've got one kind of point this later on. I think maybe William, you said you had well, you found it interesting. Did you have anything you wanted to talk about, or you found particularly interesting?
Yeah, I was kind of wondering, like, see once we get as far as to getting the first city set up and that, and we'll get people, the places up and running, how for want of a better word, how do we protect ourselves against the people who are still, for want of a better word, outside our system? Does that make sense? Let's see the people who still want to be part of a traditional monetary-based economy.
Yeah, so, you know, we've got the first city set up. It's designed for 20,000 people. It's full of 20,000 people. What's to stop everyone else from the poverty-stricken surroundings of the monetary collapse, like coming and taking all the goods? So there is an abundance of people there. Okay. Well, that kind of comes in, as Jacques mentions a few times, to this kind of question that, well, at the start at least, we're going to need some sort of protection. We're going to need security. Probably would even have some sort of army of sorts that would be purely on the defensive side.
Yeah.
And the aim would be any surplus would get given out, I'm sure, to people who are needy. And the aim would be that if people were coming there asking for things, that shows that there's demand for more. Yeah. So that hastens the case for the next city and the next city. I think that would generally be the way it would go about. Yeah, it kind of is a tricky one, saying, you know, there will be laws, well, not laws necessarily, but rules about, you know, visitors can only have access to X amount of things, stuff like that. It's a bit tricky because we're talking in the long term about replacing all rules, replacing the laws, getting rid of armies, that kind of thing. And yeah, we have to respond to the environment we're in. We're not in a full resource-based economy just for the first city. So it's in transition. This is where the transition kind of stuff comes in, saying, well, we're not giving up everything yet. Well, we're aiming to.
Yeah, I think that's well answered. It depends as well just on the situation at the time. If a militant is needed in order to defend against people that might be reasonable at the time, then hopefully that would be created. If not, then that's a much better outcome. It's kind of up in the air. You know, I mean, there's a lot it depends on.
And like with the technology, it would be designed. The first city would have to be designed security focused, really would, because of these fears. And so it would be designed from the start to be orientated this way, not to be, you know, a city and you have to surround it with armed men to shoot people that come there. You can design a city so only certain people have access, and things like that. So it's like well, you build in the systems rather than relying on violence to enforce the system. It's a good question. It kind of does touch on what I think that video lacked, which is real. It didn't quite go into all the questions. It didn't quite go into the transition. That possibly is coming with the section 3, which I think is actually called the transition and then the resource-based economy. So hopefully all these things will be coming down the line. It was interesting how the video kind of, especially the first half, it led you to a point, and it almost didn't follow through, if you know what I mean. It kind of went off to 3D printing and nanotechnology, which is really interesting to me. I love that stuff. But I think it didn't say much about where we're going, how to affect things at the moment. which is the questions that I think that people would have from the video.
Yeah.
Hopefully, as I said, it will be coming up. All right. Did you have like any more? Sorry, it's probably going to be down to you to generate questions. Me and Tom's been over this kind of stuff a while.
Yeah.
I mean, we've gone through it a number of times. So,
yes.
yeah.
I did have a couple of questions, but it was kind of unrelated to the video. How do I go about doing the foundation course in the education side of things?
Oh, yeah. Sure. Okay. So foundation course. Sorry, this is real point of contact stuff that I should be providing with. If you want to do the foundation course, let me find the link. Oh, where's it gone? I have a whole thing for it. So, yeah, the foundation course is run by a guy called, what's the name? Philippe Ivanov, or something along those lines. Yeah, Philippe. The way it generally works is there's. Sorry, multitasking is not my talent. It goes through basically section by section, the whole course. Sorry.
What's up? Hello? Hello? Aiden? He's crashed.
Looks like I'm back.
Hello, yeah, we can see and hear you.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry,
Not at all, it's okay.
because I switched accounts, Google accounts, because I needed to access this thing. That's not the document. Where's the open document? Okay, well, I'll find it in a second. Let me just explain what it is. Yeah, actually, you can see it here. There's basically a whole document alongside that, which explains it, which I'll need to find in a sec. I can't find it at this moment. But basically, it's a spreadsheet, and what it does, the course goes like this essentially. You have a task, and when you've done that task, you book a session in with Philippe, and it's like up to 3 hours. You can have a couple people in with you if you want to do it in like a little group or anything like that. And you just discuss it with him, very similar to the way we're doing now. The first 12 weeks, which is the kind of core foundation course, that's what we kind of suggest. The extended foundation course, which is like 40 weeks, goes into a lot more detail. It contains some material which is paid, and so that's like the extended course. But the 12-week course, I think, is it 12 weeks? Yeah, the 12-week course is the kind of standard part, and it uses all free materials. So that starts with basically you read a chapter from Jack's old book, which is called Looking Forwards, and then read some sections on the website, and then like you go into basically make some notes about what you've read and stuff. Any questions that you have, you come to Philippe and just raise them, and they're discussed. Very similar to what we kind of do here. Is then you watch the material, write some notes, come to the thing, and have a chat about it. So does that make sense? I need to get you the email for me. Where is it?
Sorry, I'm not saying I'm gone dead. I'm just finding sources for that conversation I was on about earlier.
Okay, that's fine.
Namely James Gilligan, who's a badass.
How was it Gilligan? I'm trying to remember his name.
Yeah, I think it's James Gilligan.
Where's the foundation cover sheet? I don't understand. Today. I literally don't know where it's gone. It's actually disappeared. I'm gonna have to
I've one. I think I've one sec.
cover sheet.
You want about the spreadsheet?
No, the cover document that explains where everything is, how it's all laid out, how to get in contact with Philippe, all that kind of stuff.
Hello.
Hello?
I'm back. Yeah, I'm back.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you to make me feel alive. Thank you to make me feel alive. There we go. Boom. Well, that's the spreadsheet, if that's what you're looking for.
No, I'm talking about the document that explains the spreadsheet.
Is it not linked on the spreadsheet?
It used to be, but it's not anymore. That's what I mean.
Is it?
It's disappeared. I'm just gonna message Philippe on Google. Oops.
I just realised I haven't checked our emails in like 2 weeks.
Well,
have you been checking our emails?
Probably not as much as I should. Jay's been doing a good.